Great crowd tonight. Appreciate everybody coming tonight. We got a lot of announcements, some new things coming up. So stay tuned. Okay, we're going to start out with a prayer. John Boucher, would you please come lead us?
Well, good evening, everyone. Hopefully it's not too warm in here for you. I think the righteous fire in the souls of all you patriots are heating things up a little bit, so that's a good thing. Let's go to the Lord. Most gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you so much for just all the blessings in our life, Lord, the fact that we get to live in this great country, in the great state of Texas, here in Montgomery County. Lord, thank you for surrounding us with all these patriots, all these people with a heart for service. Lord, thank you so much. Lord, we thank you for the Tea Party, all that they've meant to this county, to this state, and yes, Lord, even to this nation. We ask that you be with everyone here tonight, Lord, that you would guard our hearts, our tongues, and our minds, so that we may not sin against you here tonight, Lord. And we just ask that you bless this time. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
If you will help me, we're going to say the pledge to the United States. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. The Texas flag, honor the Texas flag. Pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible.
Thank you. You can be seated.
As I said, thank you for coming tonight. My name is Larry Rogers. I'm the chairman of the board of the Montgomery County Tea Party PAC. And we're really appreciative of you coming tonight. I think you're going to enjoy the program. And we'll go ahead and get started. I'd like to introduce our board members. If you're a board member, please stand. Kenneth Ernest. Herschel Williams. We have a hard time calling him Williams, but everybody wants to call him Herschel. John Wirtz, Bob Bagley, Kendra Yamahani. Yamaguchi, excuse me. I knew I'd screw that up. Did I miss anybody? I think that's it. All right. Well, we'll just go ahead and get started. Hope everybody's enjoying the food and we're very friendly people. We love you being here. I want to turn it over to Bob, our new president.
I started to get a suit on tonight, shave, and not have shorts or a Hawaiian shirt. But if I did, nobody recognized me. So I decided, no, that's not worth it. I'd like to thank you all for being here. This is an election season, and we've got a lot going on. And between now and March, where every meeting is going to be packed with not only candidates, but great speakers. I have two rules for those of you that don't know. How many of you go to church? How many of you carry on a conversation when your pastor is speaking? So that's what I expect of you here tonight. If we have a speaker up here, I expect you to give him or her the same honor and respect that you would give your pastor. The other thing is, when we get to question time, you have to come up front. We say this every meeting. You have to come up front. It's being streamed, recorded. for prosperity, and we want to make sure that everybody hears what you have to say, what your questions are, as well as the answers. So if you would just go by those rules. So I'd like to introduce somebody tonight. I didn't recognize him when he came in the building because he did what I thought about doing. Got rid of his shorts, his Hawaiian shirt, shaved his mustache, his beard, and put on a suit. Mr. Bob Harvey has some information that he'd like to share with you. I met Bob. Well, it hasn't been a year yet, has it? He's one. Has it? He's one of my cigar buddies, and it's been quite an experience. And so, if you would welcome Bob Harvey up here, please, from the Grumpies.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to take just a second and get this organized for me. Okay. I actually prepared a speech, and for those of you who know me, I'd appreciate a moment of silence for my recently departed Texas mustache. I'm economizing back to being a businessman. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Bob Harvey, and I'm formally announcing tonight my candidacy for Precinct 2 County Commissioner, Montgomery County. Thank you. Tonight I'll introduce myself, and then I'll explain why I'm running, why I'm qualified for the office of Commissioner, and then to share with you my vision for Precinct 2. So who I am. First and foremost, I'm a businessman. I am not a politician. Thank you. I've been a proud resident of Texas for 17 years and have called Montgomery County home for 14 years. My wife and partner, Amy, where are you? Okay, she keeps moving around. All right, so my wife and partner, Amy, and I have been together for 25 years. And no matter where we were in the world, we always knew Montgomery County was our home. And for the record, Amy has awarded me officially the bumper sticker that says wasn't born in Texas, but I got here as fast as I could. Okay, professionally, I bring 42 years of experience in the oil and gas industry. I began my career on the rigs and advanced to senior leadership roles, including general manager, president, director, and global director of business development for industry leaders such as Halliburton, Schlumberger, Weatherford, and the Gates Corporation. In these positions, I was responsible for increasing shareholder value and maximizing return on investment. And ladies and gentlemen, we the people of Montgomery County are the shareholders. My work ethic is rooted in the demanding, results-driven culture of the oil and gas sector, where commitment and perseverance are essential every day of the year. These experiences prepared me to serve Montgomery County with dedication, strategic vision, and a strong sense of responsibility. Why I'm running. As a reminder of where we were in 2018, I'd like to read from an article in the Texas Scorecard dated March the 2nd of that year. The headline read, and I quote, "Voters have a chance to drain the swamp in Montgomery County. Voters have a choice between a corrupt good old boys network or a slate of conservative reformers. Montgomery County notorious for its corruption and good old boys network, has been run by a tight-knit group of establishment politicians for decades. Significant changes could be ahead if the reform-minded candidates have their way in the March 6th primary. End of quote. Montgomery County stands at a crossroads. For too long, entrenched interests have held back our community's true potential. And I see that because of the jobs that I've had in the past. 7 years after calls for reform, the need for bold, accountable leadership is greater than ever. The time is now for Precinct 2. I'm running to exhibit integrity, accountability, transparency, and forward-thinking stewardship for Precinct 2. I'm running to exhibit integrity. I am running to end the status quo. And I want a partnership with you, we the people, in leading Precinct 2 forward. I'm running to deliver to our precinct and our county a significantly improved quality of life, standard of living, and opportunity that is driven by good governance and cost-effective value added. Why I'm qualified for the office of Commissioner. My experience, dedication, and values are directly aligned with the needs and opportunities facing Precinct 2. I've led large capital infrastructures and operational initiatives, planning, optimizing capital investments, eliminating inefficiencies, and delivering measurable performance improvements. I am prepared to serve you with proven leadership and strategic vision. I've spent decades leading teams and organizations in the oil and gas industry, driving growth, sustainability, and profitability for some of the world's largest companies. I know how to run and turn around underperforming operations, streamline processes, and negotiate contracts that deliver real value. I will bring the same strategic mindset to Montgomery County, ensuring that every project and initiative is part of a unified, long-term vision for our community. With operational and fiscal responsibility, I've managed teams and budgets with revenues of up to $150 million, with responsibility for assets and values of over $750 million. My approach is simple. Every dollar counts. I have implemented strict financial and safety controls, achieving perfect compliance with regulations on all major regulations, including Foreign Corrupt Practice Acts. As your commissioner, I will insist on transparency and accountability in every aspect of county spending, so you will always know how your tax dollars are being used. Through innovation and continuous improvement, I have developed new management systems and software to improve efficiency and save millions of dollars for my employers and for our customers. My focus is always on finding better ways to serve, whether that means adopting new technologies, streamlining operations, or eliminating waste. I will bring the spirit of innovation to county government, making sure we deliver the best possible results for the residents. With a sharp focus on transparency and ethical governance, I've worked with government leaders and boards at the highest levels, always emphasizing transparency, ethical conduct, and open communication. I believe that public service is a trust, and I will work every day to earn and keep that trust by being open, honest, and accountable. Through community engagement and advocacy, I have experience working in diverse environments and building partnerships with stakeholders from all walks of life. I've served on multiple boards always advocating for collaborative decision-making and putting the needs of that community first. My door will always be open. I am committed to listening to your concerns and making sure that your voice is heard. Now I'd like to share my vision for Precinct 2. It's a vision to empower our community, uniting residents, neighborhoods, and businesses to build a resilient, thriving Precinct 2, where everyone's voice matters. A vision that demands true transparency. I will insist on openness in every decision, budget, and project so you will always know how your precinct is being run. A vision that delivers results. With my business experience, I will drive smart planning and development, ensuring your tax dollars create lasting value and opportunity. A vision to ensure accountability. I will establish rigorous audits and compliance reviews to hold government and county contractors to the highest standards of integrity. Together with residents, community leaders, and businesses, we will build a comprehensive, consistent, and complementary plan for the future of Precinct 2. One that reflects our shared values, encourages growth, and ensures that every voice is heard. And this is my commitment to you. My qualifications are rooted in real-world results, operational excellence, ethical leadership, and a proven ability to deliver to shareholders, employees, and communities alike. These are key skills and values I will bring to the county commissioner. And finally, I sincerely and humbly thank you, all of you, for the opportunity to share my campaign announcement for Precinct 2 Commissioner in Montgomery County. I'm pleased to have introduced myself, explained why I am running, stated my qualifications, and shared my vision with you. Let us not forget the 2018 Texas Scorecard article. The headline read, "Voters have the chance to drain the swamp in Montgomery County." Voters have a choice between a corrupt good old boys network or a slate of conservative reformers. Here we are 7 years later, and the good old boy network is still intact. I simply will not continue the status quo. My campaign will be grounded in measurable deliverables, citizen metrics, and accountability at every step. I will bring fresh energy, rigorous processes, and wholehearted commitment to serve the people, not the politics. Thank you. Thank you. I'm a businessman. I'm not a politician. I'm Bob Harvey, and I'm seeking your support, your vote, and your prayers. Thank you.
Anybody got questions? Nobody has a question? Wow, you got off easy.
It's a pretty clear vision, isn't it?
I have one. So the county has never been audited by an outside agency. You talked about an audit. Are you going to have an in-house audit like it's been done for 40, 50 years? Or are you going to go outside?
Outside.
Awesome. Thank you.
In my work history, I was hired by those companies to go into countries and turn them around. And the very first thing I did is I called up and I had a financial audit done and an ethical audit done by the company's legal team. So you can imagine Halliburton has to be top drawer. They would send over a forensic CPA team, and they would send over a forensic ethical team. And the reasons for that is because I was taking over that operation. And I wanted everybody to understand what was taking place at that particular time. I'm responsible. I'm accountable from that point forward. Everything behind, we need to understand what it is, recognize it, and put a plan together to resolve it. And that means dealing with the lawyers and lawsuits and all sorts of issues in the past. And so I would want to do the exact same thing, outside people, transparency, so everybody understands what we're starting with. And quite frankly, I don't care if it upsets people because it's the right thing to do. It's the ethical thing to do.
Yep. Thank you, brother.
Man, you clean up real good.
Mr. Boucher. So we have a number of candidates here tonight to speak. And if you would, John Boucher is up next. And can we get in line? Or you can come up one at a time after he's done or after the next one's done so that everybody gets an opportunity to speak. So if we could hold it down again, Mr. Boucher.
Larry, you want to say something?
So I know things are a little different tonight. We don't have as many waiters as we normally do, so please be patient with the wait staff. We really didn't know how many people we were going to have, and they didn't know how many to have come out to work with us. So just be patient.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate you. Well, good evening, everyone. How are y'all doing? So good to be here. My name is John Boucher. I'm running for House District 16 to represent House District 16 in the Texas House. You know, I got involved in politics probably about 2014. I was the chairman of the Lone Star Christian Chamber of Commerce, and people kept asking me to get into politics. And eventually I jumped into politics. And I found out something really quick. I was very naive. I found out how absolutely nasty the good old boy system could be. I was immediately called a Muslim. Whoa. True story. A Democrat. My wife was really surprised to find out that I beat her, because they were saying that. And I mean, it was just crazy. And through that experience, you know, people said, why did you stick around? Tonight, your answer spoke right before me. Bob Harvey. That's why I stuck around. Because, thank you, because people like him, when they see the craziness going on in politics, even though they're infinitely qualified, they're great people, they can do the job, they want no part of it. And when that happens, we all suffer. A friend of mine, he owns Fuller's Vintage Guitar, Mike Fuller. He used to tell me when I was a younger man, he said, John, stay out of politics, because it's like championship wrestling. He said, when I was a kid, there was Cowboy Bill Watts and there was Wahoo McDaniel. And there'd be scraps on the schoolyard because some people were Cowboy Bill Watts fans and the other ones were Wahoo McDaniel fans. But Wahoo McDaniel and Cowboy Bill Watts would travel on the same bus together. They would eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner together. They'd stay at the hotels together. And it was just a game. And the audience was kind of the patsy in the whole deal. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of being the patsy in the whole deal. Come on. I'm a musician, many of you know this. I was playing an event, a gala event at a big hotel one day, and I had a drummer sit in with me. And he had been following me on Facebook. I didn't know that at the time. And he said, you know what I notice about you, John Boucher? You're hated by the Democrats in both parties. I'm tired of the Democrats in both parties. I'm tired of 26 Republicans getting up, abandoning the Republican caucus and the majority that you worked so hard for to get a Republican governor, a Republican lieutenant governor, a Republican Senate, a Republican House, and then 26 self-interested Republicans get up and walk out and join the Democrats. I'm sick of it. So that's why I'm running. And make no mistake, the swamp is trying to protect itself. Donald Trump, during the school voucher debate, said, "I will endorse anyone who votes for school choice." Now, that was shocking to me, because if anybody said to me, "Hey, John, I will give you money for your vote. I will give you status for your vote. I will give you an endorsement for your vote," my answer is always going to be the same. I was entrusted with that vote by the people of House District 16. I will read the legislation and I will weigh it on its merits and vote in a way that best serves my constituents. My vote is not for sale. But unfortunately, they sold the vote. All of them did. And as soon as they did, everybody fell in line. So pay attention. Pay attention to all those going along with it. We may not be able to replace them this cycle, but we are going to replace these 26 House members this cycle, and then we'll work on the next stage later. God bless you, Bob Harvey. Thank you for running. I'm John Boucher, running for House District 16.
Hi, everyone. My name is Megan White. I'm running for County Court at Law number 6, downtown Conroe. I'm an attorney. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I'm excited to be bringing my experience to the bench. I'm not learning it on the bench. Almost 10 years of experience. I've litigated over 3,000 cases. I'm happy to show them to you. And I'm proud to be doing this. This is your first time to be able to vote for this position, and that's very important to me. I'm just interviewing for the job, right? So this is your juvenile court. So when a child commits a crime, this is the court that it's going to. It's very, very important to me. I pulled some endorsements from some board certified attorneys who have trained me in juvenile work, which I'm greatly proud of. But also your civil cases. So I'm a small business owner. We own a law firm. I started from nothing. It didn't exist prior to me and my husband starting it. Currently, we are located in the Woodlands, but we've got several offices throughout the state. I have proudly litigated all of my cases in over 60 counties in the state. And we've got offices in various places. So I've learned all of these incredible things about how these courts are run. And I want to bring it to Montgomery County. I think that experience is important because when you come in with your small business, maybe you're being sued, maybe a customer hasn't paid you for work completed. These are our neighbors. These are our friends. This is us. And I want to make sure that your case is looked at, heard, and respected, just like the juvenile cases. I want to make sure our clearance rate is high, successful, but most importantly, I want to make sure that you're not paying the cost to do that. Currently, there's an associate judge that's doing a lot of the work for the juvenile only section. So it makes me wonder, right, what's going on during the civil docket? What's she doing? It's costing you about $250,000 every year for that one position. And you didn't vote on it. So my name is Megan White. I'm running for County Court at Law number 6. I've got conservative values that I'm very proud of. I'm raising my daughter to grow up with those as well, 5th generation Texan. And I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about this court, what it's costing you, because I'm proud to do it. Megan White.
Good evening. I'm not here as a politician. For the last 4 3/4 years, I've been your Chief Justice of the 9th District Court of Appeals. You don't know me, my name is Scott Goldman. When I ran for this position, started campaigning back in 2019 and then in 2020, I told you that I've been a civil trial attorney for 34 years, trying mostly cases in Harris County and Bexar County, and I was fed up with judges that did not follow and enforce the law, but were trying to legislate from the bench, and that's why I ran. I'll tell you this, I'm very proud of that. I promised you I would do that, and I have done that. The 9th Court of Appeals is the most conservative court of appeals in the state of Texas. It has that reputation. When I started back in 1988, it was the most liberal court of appeals in the state of Texas. You talk about corruption, Jefferson County was known for its corruption. But this court is made up of 4 justices, with me being the chief.
and all of us follow and enforce the law. We do not legislate from the bench. One of the best examples I can give you for that is that in these 4 3/4 years, I have authored over 450 opinions. The civil opinions can be appealed up to the Texas Supreme Court. The criminal opinions can be appealed up to the Court of Criminal Appeals. And out of those opinions I've authored, I've only been reversed twice by the Court of Criminal Appeals. I've never been reversed. I've never been reversed by the Texas Supreme Court. And I can say this, Judge Leanne Johnson, Justice Jay Wright, Justice Kent Chambers, who just started, who's going to be an excellent justice on the court. None of them have been routinely reversed. When you look at the big, large metropolitan court of appeals, you can see how many times they have been reversed. It's shocking. And the reason is they don't follow and enforce the law. They're legislating from the bench up until the last election. I don't know if you followed it or anything, but Texas had a major swing. And out of the 1st and 14th Court of Appeals in Houston, the San Antonio Court of Appeals, the Corpus Christi Edinburgh Court of Appeals, and the Dallas Court of Appeals. I'm leaving, and Fort Worth wasn't there. I'll get to that in a second. But all of them are majority Republicans now. They swept out the liberal Democrats. So we're very hopeful that Texas appellate courts are going to get back to the way they used to be. The only one that wasn't that way was Fort Worth. Fort Worth has always been a conservative Republican Court of Appeals, and they're staying that way. The only major metropolitan Court of Appeals that is still liberal Democrat is the Austin Court of Appeals, which they've sort of given up on that. That's why they created a business court and the 15th Court of Appeals. But I've spoke too long. I've always been known for that. But I would really appreciate your vote, your support, your prayers, and reelect me for another 6-year term. I'm Scott Goldman. Thank you very much.
Good evening. Most of y'all know who I am. My name is Adrian Kaiser. I too, sorry Bob, I'm also running for County Commissioner Precinct 2. Thank you, Wendy. My extensive background is when I was graduated high school, I got my welding certification right out of that. I've been doing structural welding in my father's company for over 10 years. In 2014, me and my dad went into business together. We started a horticulture landscaping business, selling trees to wholesalers throughout the state. We actually had people in Florida come and buy some of our stuff. On top of that, I've also been a shop manager for my father's company as well. We have roll-off containers, which is what I mostly fix and create the structural integrity of these boxes so they're not falling apart when you remodel your house, whatever it is. I also have experience in fixing heavy equipment along with the trucks, heavy equipment, bulldozers, anything that you can think of. I have some knowledge of it and can do most of the stuff. Anything electronic, I don't know that I'm pretty technologically illiterate for a millennial, but I have a lot of experience in that. One thing that I really want to do is work with the developers because we have a flooding problem in Precinct 2. If you live in Precinct 2, you know we have a bad flooding problem. And it's only getting worse with all the developers and all the development coming in. One thing I want to do is work with these developers to where they are putting flood design into their plans that they have to submit to the county. Now, one thing I learned, and I learned this from the guy that currently sits in the office, as a county commissioner, we cannot reject developers. If they want to come in and build something, we can't reject them. We have to approve it. But what we can do is approve the designs and make them change designs. We can't tell them, no, you can't build. What we can do is, hey, this design's messed up. Let's fix it. Another thing I found out, how many of y'all know how much it costs to repave a mile stretch of road in Precinct 2? According to the county commissioner, it is, as of 2023, $150,000 for 1 mile stretch of road. That just doesn't sit right with me. It seems like that's an absurd amount. I want to audit it, look and see how much costing, where can we save cost-cutting measures? At what point where we can save that so we're not spending $150,000 to just repave a road? All of that, plus my experience, I believe I would make a great county commissioner. Ask for your vote and your prayers. And on Tuesday, October 28th, down the road at Angry Elephant, we're having our campaign launch. Come out, enjoy, have some fun, meet me, meet family, meet my staff, meet anybody you want to meet. Come out, love to have you. Thank you for your time. God bless you and God bless Texas.
Hey, I'm Nick Tran. I'm running for CD8, and I think the common theme that we've all heard tonight was folks who said I'm not a career politician, and I think that speaks volumes. You know, there are a lot of people that are just common people like us, just finally stepping up. I was invited to go to the Alan West podcast last Monday, and the night before, my crown popped off when I was eating a piece of corn, and my wife's like, "Oh, you better get that fixed." So I got a retainer, but during my interview, I talk like I have a list. So being the guy that's not a politician, I'm gonna take my retainer off so I can talk to you. See? And it helps me because my whole throughout my life, my wife said you need to smile more. Being a combat vet, I've always had this face, and I try to tell people this is my happy face. But now that I'm missing a tooth and I haven't had a chance to get it fixed, I think it's a little more approachable. Most of the time, I come up here, I only have a minute to talk, and you guys said I can speak a little bit more, so I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about my story and why I'm running. I was born in Vietnam. I wasn't born here. I was born in Vietnam. I escaped Vietnam the day Saigon fell. So I was 5 years old. I was sleeping in my bed, and my dad came in the middle of the night and grabbed me and pulled me out and took me downstairs to the basement. And he had this worried look in his face. He was normally really happy and loving, but that night he was really worried. And he took me down to the basement and handed me to my grandmother, and I'm sitting there, and he ran out to the front door. There were two military jeeps waiting for him, and he took off in the night. What was happening was Saigon, the capital of South Vietnam, was a constitutional republic modeled after the United States. We wanted democracy. We wanted independence modeled after the United States. And we were in a civil war against the North, which was a communist state. And that night, communist forces were encroaching the city of Saigon and about to invade. And my father, being a former colonel, wanted to help fight off the communists to give us more time for people to escape Saigon. It was just part of his nature of service. And at that time, I didn't know what was going on. I was sitting in the basement looking out the window in the basement. I see like flashes of light and deep sounds of thunder, and it sounded like thunder, like a thunderstorm. And I crawled up into the table and looked out the window. I saw flashes of light in the horizon. And again, I thought it was thunder, but what it was is the explosions in the battle that was encroaching into the city. Long story short, morning came. My father had spent 8 hours fighting against the communists, giving over 100,000 people time to escape. He could have used his privilege as a senior officer to fly off on an American plane, but he didn't. He chose to stay and fight. And because of that, the airport had already been captured. So my father and I had to escape in a boat. We had to go find one of the last boats out of the country. We jumped on this boat made for 18 people, and over 100 people jumped on the boat. Had no plan, just the clothes on our backs, and we drifted out in the sea for 3 days, ran out of food and water, and most of us started to die on the third day from dehydration. Luckily, an American destroyer picked up our SOS message and rescued us on the third day. And though I was only 5 years old at that moment, I vowed that I was going to be an American, that I was going to pay back this country. And it took us 8 long years to become legal U.S. citizens. So we came here the right way. We came here through the legal process. So for a guy who waited in line to be an American, I'm not okay with people skipping the line and coming here and getting benefits. And another thing my dad taught me: if you come into somebody's house, you respect their house rules. So we try to assimilate as much as possible, as quickly as possible. We didn't have our own groups and demanded things. We tried to fit in and become Americans. And when I was 18, I made good on my promise, and I enlisted in the Army to serve this country and pay back her for what she's done for us. Americans the military has opened up so many great doors for me that I would never have been able to achieve. After my first tour of duty, I got out, went to college, paid for by the GI Bill, and spent 12 years in energy working until 9/11 happened. And then as I'm downtown sitting in my office watching the towers get hit by planes, I felt the need to serve again. So I re-enlisted and I joined 20th Special Forces Group and I deployed to Afghanistan. I left my career, went back to the Canadian military, fought in Afghanistan, fought in Iraq. You know, I don't want you to thank me for that because it was an honor to serve, but more importantly, it's because I escaped from a country that fell into communism, and there's really no other place for us to escape to. As you've seen what's happening in Europe, Europe has fallen. And after serving in the military, and he spent 12 years in oil and gas, and the gentleman over there said he worked for Schlumberger. I worked for Schlumberger for 10 years, built a great career. But you know, I'm doing well, not because I'm an extraordinary person or anything like that, but because America gives you that opportunity for someone who's willing to work hard. And that's what I'm fighting for. The American dream that I was able to achieve in my one lifetime. I want to make sure that my children, your children, and your grandchildren have that opportunity too. So all the things that I've fought for and seen this country get destroyed from within, not just from the radical left, but from like John mentioned, the Democrats in our own party who collude with them, with the establishment. And that's what I'm fighting for. That's what I'm stepping up for. I didn't think that I'd ever be a politician. It's not something I ever wanted to do. But I feel like I have to do it because somebody has to do it. Somebody has to fight for us. And that's what I'm fighting for. And the things that I'm going to fight for are Second Amendment rights. It's on my logo because, that is the only amendment that protects us from all the other amendments. And then oil and gas, energy independence for us, and of course, making sure that all our constitutional rights are protected. So I'm Nick Tran. You can find more about me and what we're fighting for at nicktranfortexas.com.
Great.
Thank you, Nick. My name is Martin Etschwab, and I'm Sia. And I'm running for Texas 2nd Congressional District, so CD2. Nick talked about the Constitution. Yes, we must defend and fight for our Constitution. I am a missionary to this country, and I'm a constitutional lawyer in this country. I'm fighting for the Constitution in this country. I've been doing that in the courtrooms. Actually, in fact, when I leave here and go back home, I'm filing a mandamus against a sitting judge and a DA for not following the laws of this state. And I've been doing that all over the nation. Right now, I'm helping Florida change their statute, the election statute. That way, when you get doxxed for supporting Trump, whoever doxes you gets criminalized, goes to jail. Right now, thugs out there, because they don't like who you support, they call your employer, and then you get fired. I'm helping Florida fix that law. And I've worked with so many, I helped draft a bill in Georgia. I've helped draft statutes and ordinances all over the state. And so I've been fighting. And why am I fighting? Because if we don't do that, like Nick said, other countries have fallen. Europe has fallen. South America has fallen. Africa has fallen. This is the only land that's still standing. And so if we don't fight for this land to keep standing, what else do we got? But this only happens when you and I come together, invoke our Creator back into our lives, and stand as Americans and defend that Second Amendment right, your right to speak, and then and stand back and tell the government, no, you cannot, you can't force me, you can't force me to take the job. That's what we're fighting for. And that's why I'm running for Congress. Because we need men and women who are going to go and push back. You know, thank God for Trump. Right now, our borders are shut down. Thank you. But do you know why Biden was able to do what he did? Because our Congress has given the Attorney General and the President the power to create exceptions. Congress can close that loophole. Congress can say, AG, your job is to enforce the law. Your job is not to say, oh, you're from Venezuela, you can come today. We'll talk about it next week. That's Congress's job. If Congress does not, if we don't elect people who are willing to go and challenge the status quo now, and we don't have another president like Trump, God forbid that we have 20 million more people come to the country illegally. So that's why we must elect people who are willing to stand and fight. And I am that person. Why am I running for Congress? As an immigrant, I came here 20 years ago as a missionary, like I said. And I came from one of those countries Trump called the shithole country. In fact, it is. Thank you. After seeing what happened in my homeland, after seeing what's happened all around the world, and seeing America as that beacon of hope, and raising 4 kids in Texas, I cannot sit back and watch my country become a shithole country. And that's why I'm running for Congress. I can't afford to sit back. I call myself the ultimate American dream. I am. I come from nothing. And today I'm holding governments accountable. I'm telling the AG's office, you better do this or else. You can only do that here. But if I don't do that and let things keep breaking the way they have been before, what am I living for my kids? I enjoy my American dream and live an American nightmare for my kids. I cannot afford to do that. And that's why I'm running for Congress. I'm running for accountability. I'm sick and tired of politicians who go out there and when you challenge them, they say, I'll kill you. We know who did that. When you challenge them, you challenge their vote or their statement, they block you on social media. They come after you. If you're an accountable elected official, you should be an open book. Come back every 3 months or every so often and say, you sent me to represent you. This is my report card. How did I do? If I didn't do well, be like, sorry, this is it for you. And I would say, primary guy like me, if I don't do what you sent me to do. Don't give chances after chances after chances. My kids don't have chances after chances. So we kick them out right away. So yes, we need someone who is accountable, someone who is willing to stand, someone who does not give into the big money, someone who is not getting into office just to place themselves for later on, for retirement, for to go and become a lobbyist or consultant. We need someone who's willing to fight. And here's the other thing. I believe that after you should serve as a House member for 6 years at most, 3 terms. After that, you get back to what you were doing before. Get back to your regular job. Thank you. So, this is my commitment to you. If you elect me to Congress, I'll stay there for at most 6 years, then come back and be an attorney back in Texas. And one more thing, the unborn life. recently I was asked by two different groups, what's your opinion on when does life begin? Here's when life begins. God said, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. So the moment of conception, life begins. And here's the other thing. Our founding document, our constitution says life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. That means our constitution itself tells us that life is an inalienable right, which means not even people always say abortion should be a state issue. It should be a no one's issue. Life is a life issue. So we shouldn't say 2 days or 6 days. We should say no terminating of life. So we must protect, and I'm going to argue that constitutionally when I go to Congress, that states don't have a right to terminate any life. Thank you very much, martinetwork.com, and I ask for your support.
Well, good evening. My name is Brett Jensen. I am running in the 8th Congressional District. And first, I would like to thank all of you for sitting through all of us. You should give yourselves a round of applause, because to have the kind of civic virtue that you all have, this country would be a better place if everybody had that mindset. I am a Christian. I'm a man of faith. I am a husband. I am a father. I am an entrepreneur and a job creator. I have never had any interest in being an elected official before. I am running for Congress, quite frankly, because Donald Trump needs help. I am also running for Congress because it is time that we retake the word capitalism from our enemies. Capitalism is what made this country great. Capitalism is what didn't just make us prosperous, it's what helped us create our lives. It is what gave us homes, gave us purpose. All of that is what makes the situation in totalitarian countries, in communist countries, in socialist countries, like we've heard so much about, parts of the world that's fallen, it's what separates us from them. And we need to go on the offensive. But we can't go on the offensive because Congress is full of people who are either looking to get rich, they're looking to pad their resume, they're looking for a life at our expense. And I want you to know that's not me. I have a great life. I want to do this so that I can represent our values, so that I can look my 7-year-old daughter in her eye and know that I did everything I could to save her future. So I am running for Congress, not to make friends, not to go back to DC to become part of that world, but to go and fight for what we all know is right. I humbly ask for your support and your vote. I am not taking a bunch of outside money. I'm funding my campaign, and I am going to fight for all of us. My name is Brett Jensen. I'm running in the 8th Congressional District, and I humbly ask for your support.
Hi, I'm Ava Zalari. I'm running from Congressional District 2. And I want to do something a little different. We've heard a lot of great speakers tonight, and I think we all agree with a lot of them. But tonight I would like to pray before I give you the things that I want to tell you and share with you. Is that okay with y'all? Dear Heavenly Father, I just pray for all the candidates who have come before me, Lord. And I pray that you give the voters discernment, Lord. I pray that you give the candidates who win wisdom, guidance. I ask that you give them transparency, Lord, and let the people know who they voted for and what they voted for, Lord. And I pray that the revival that is happening in our country continues to grow, that we become the salt and light of this world, Lord. We need to come back to you. We need to come back to you with repentance. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. So, like all the other candidates, I am not a career politician, I am a former nurse, a former missionary. And when Trump came into office, it was an eye-opener for me, understanding that there's actually somebody who does care about our country. And as he went through office, people were exposed. People that we thought supported us, who represented us, they didn't. They represented their pocketbooks. And I've seen a culture cultivated in the Republican Party that wants to pin everything on a particular group. Politics has become a team sport. We need to not only do status quo as politicians, but as the people. We all need to stand up. We all need to start talking to our neighbors. We all need to stop fighting. We all need to definitely share what's going on. And it's not just about capitalism. I believe in capitalism, but we need to bring the heart back of this country. We need to bring the love back and the honesty back and the integrity back. I'm Ava Zalari. You can find me at avazalari.com. Thank you.
Y'all are so kind. I absolutely love you. So I am Gwen Withrow. I am running again for the county chairman position. Thank you so much. 2 years ago, or a year or so ago, when I ran the first time, I ran against a guy who had pretty much destroyed the party. So we were in really bad shape. One big difference between me and him was that I really care about the precinct chairs. They are the greatest group of people. They work exceedingly hard. If you are a precinct chair, please raise your hand so that we can acknowledge you. These are the people who put the people in office that do the work at the party and make it all happen. That was a big difference because the guy that was there ahead of me, he didn't like the precinct chairs very much. He even sued the precinct chairs. So he was not very happy with the precinct chairs. Now, the guy I'm running against this time, he actually was the first lieutenant to the other guy I ran against. And so he has a lot of his same beliefs. And what's going on this round is they are very unhappy that the county party censored one of those House reps, or we did censor 2 of those House reps that walked out of the caucus and went down the hall. So my opponent doesn't think that's a good idea. He thinks that we should stand on the sidelines and cheer no matter what they do. I call it the Dallas Cowboy thing. Like the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, they have their back to the game. They can't tell what's going on, but they look real pretty. And so that's what he wants the party to be. Well, that's not what we want to be. We want to be like the coaches who are carefully studying the field. And when our players lose the ball, throw the ball to the opponent, or even get out there and start blocking for the opponents, then we want to bench them. So anyway, that is the reason that I have an opponent this time, and I would greatly appreciate if you would support me Gwen Withrow for your county chairman. It's the very last thing on your March primary. Thank you. You don't need- Thank y'all so much. They are pointing to, if you look up on the screen, so after I took office, this is what the big red dot, the darkest red one that is up there, is what our county did compared to the rest of the state. So we did a really good job. These precinct chairs worked hard and the party worked together, and we did an outstanding job of getting out the vote last time. And I'm asking you to support us again. Thank you.
Well, hello there. My name is Trent. This is my youngest daughter, Felicity, and I'm a little late being here because I had to go home and grab her to bring her. She wouldn't want to miss out on this. I know a lot of you from working the parking lot and campaigning for our elected officials or conservatives, and I'm here representing Brandon Steinman, our county clerk. He's one of those conservatives that you and I helped elect. And I also want to say that as we listen to all of these candidates running, we have to keep in mind who's actually been out there working and part of our team before, right? Because we do see a lot of folks who just run and then we never see them again when they don't win. Whereas there's folks like, Brandon, when he was a kid, was out helping elect our first Republican county clerk in Montgomery County. And he's been involved in the process ever since. I'm also here representing his wife, Jessica Steinman. She's running for Congressional District 8, worked in the Trump administration and a whole lot of other places for our conservative causes, like worked for Ted Cruz at one point. We'd love to have y'all's vote, and we're excited that y'all are out here tonight. Thanks so much.
Well, I'm Betty Anderson, and I'm representing a candidate who's running for the Woodlands Township Board of Directors. And Adam Lamb, I've got some flyers. If anybody's from the Woodlands, come get some flyers for me. Adam has been endorsed by almost all of the Republican precinct chairs in the Woodlands. That's over 17, 18 precinct chairs, Republican Party precinct chairs. And everyone that I contact so far and ask, could I put a sign in your yard? That nobody has told me no. So anyway, I've got this. Adam is one of the supporters of the Texas Youth Summit. He would be here tonight, but he's teaching a Bible study. So I'm here representing him. I've got signs in my trunk. So if you're in the Woodlands, I'll be over here. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Wyatt Jeffries. I'm running for precinct chair for Montgomery County Precinct 17. I've been endorsed by Dale Fessenden, who's been so helpful in mentoring me, and I'm looking forward to getting to know all of you and working with the fellow precinct chairs this coming March.
So how many of you are here for the first time tonight? First time at a Tea Party meeting? Is there any of y'all that are Democrats? I didn't think so. Well, we got Republicans that won't admit that they're Democrats either, but so Metcalf thinks he's a Republican too. So. This is we're on our 13th year now. I've been to a number of Trump rallies along with my brother in arms, Phil Cady, back in the far corner. We've been to DC 3 times, and we're well known for being January Sixers. We never got arrested. We always thought there was a possibility until we got a president that abides by the law, and we don't have to worry about it anymore. The Tea Party would not exist if we had a strong, conservative, God-fearing Republican Party. It wouldn't be necessary. And that's why we're here, to make the changes, to bring our county, our state, and our nation back to God. There's a lot of people that don't appreciate the things that we do. This red dot that's up here is not only from the Republican Party, but it's also from the Tea Parties that were out there knocking doors, that were out there standing at the election sites, talking to people, passing out literature. It's a joint effort. While in DC on January 9th, President Trump said 3 times, not, I won't go into the negative side of it, but he said 3 times he would not be in office today if it were not for the Tea Party's support. So I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. We're going to continue bringing great speakers out. Tonight was important to get some of these people, the candidates that are running, especially for the announcement by my grumpy buddy Bob, to be able to make this announcement. We will start our vetting of candidates shortly. And for those of you that have never seen what we do with US Vote Smart, I'm going to let John Wirtz come up and give you an idea of what we do with the vetting committee. There's nothing like it in the state of Texas. And it's well known throughout the state. We've had Lieutenant Governor on down to come to our vetting, and we're doing the same thing this year.
Thank you, Bob. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming out. So after some technology changes recently, the vetting committee is back on track. Could the vetting committee please raise their hands? Right now, we did the precinct chairs, but if you guys would raise your hands here, you can look around the room here. Appreciate you guys. On the technology front, thanks go out to Stacy Ernest, to Lana Horde, who's back here, and Mark Ferber for working tirelessly to put this new complex vetting repository software system together. Just stringing that together is tough enough. But having sold software before, this is a very complex system. Tea Party, as far as the elections are concerned, back in the March primary, we spent roughly $27,000 helping with the candidates that we were promoting, including Gwen Withrow's campaign and the majority of the precinct chair races. And that enabled us to obtain about a 65 to 35% majority. And a lot of that is due to you guys out there block walking, working the polls. Sometimes it's not always cool like it is seasonally. Here we are in October, and it's 90 degrees still. Crazy, huh? I can tell you right now, we are following, and on the website, you can see the challengers that are filing every day for precinct chair. And as Gwen mentioned, she has an opponent, and we'll go over that in just a second. You'll be surprised at the amount of money that's been raised by the party.
In November of 24 last year, the Tea Party only spent about $17,000 due to a drop off in funds. However, because of the success of the Cruise Gala, the local GOP was able to spend, well, we raised about 120 grand and we spent 75. And that was broken down between texts and also voter guides. We had 10 early voting locations, and we were able to staff those. If you did staff those, if you can raise your hand, because you guys are true champions, really, of this last election. And y'all were responsible for this big red dot up here. And then, you know, I don't know if y'all know how to read that thing. A bubble diagram is basically the size of the bubble or the amount of voters that voted, and the intensity is the separation between the winner or party winner and the opponent. When you look up here, you can see that Houston by far had the biggest turnout, but Dallas had the more intense. They were a little bit below that, but they had the more intense blue. They were about 60%. When you look at that big red dot there just above Houston, that would be Montgomery County. We had 72%. Trump had 72% turnout for him. That's a big hand. And it wasn't just Trump. You know, the party and the Tea Party both have voter guides out there at the polls, and people working that early vote. We had 150 people working the polls in early voting, and the same amount on election day. We can't compete with the big money. We know that big money is coming back into this race in the primary, and that's something we're going to have to defeat with our legs, whether it's block walking or working the polls. So how did we get to that big red dot and then going forward? Well, we're going to need your donations and your memberships actually accelerated to make an impact this primary year coming up in 2026. Maybe upwards to $40,000 to $50,000. We didn't have that in the last primary. We needed more, but we got by with what we had. And we currently have, I believe, Kenneth, just over 20,000 right now. So you know there's a little ways to go. The local Republican Party is doing its job. In fact, the minority claims that we're on the wrong path. I know those of you guys that are precinct chairs have heard that several times. And as some of you may know, I'm the assistant treasurer of the party. And I'm also on the fundraising committee. So I take exception to that comment that we're on the wrong path, at least from the standpoint of finance. I input the data in the general ledger for our treasurer, Charles Shirley. I'm the assistant treasurer, and reconcile it to the bank account. Charles does the reporting to the steering committee, the county executive committee, and the Texas Ethics Commission, which I used to do. Thank God Charles came along to help me out with that. That's a chore, getting all those reports. Kenneth knows that. He does reports for the Tea Party. From the revenue side, I built this big, beautiful green chart, which I have behind me, and I'll explain that in a second. So I asked you, does it look like we're on the wrong path?
No.
Sorry, I don't have this on a big screen, and I'll tilt it over this way in just a second.
Walk it around, Dan, and let everybody see.
I'm walking around? Yeah. Vanna, okay. So on the left side here, this block right here is $54,000 over 2 years. That was under Dr. Wally. Okay. The next big block here is $215,000 raised under Brian Crisp's term. 4 years. Okay. The next block is $225,000 which we just got a bunch of foursomes in for the golf tournament. It's approaching $230,000 in just over a year and a quarter under Gwen Withrow's term. So I ask you, are we on the wrong path? Thank you.
Don't forget, we're still fundraising.
Oh, yeah, we're still, oh, yeah, Herschel been in my ear. Bob will let me, we have a golf tournament coming up, which I'm chairman too, but it's coming up in 2 weeks. We've been the Republican Party, and we still have foursome slots available and always have sponsor slots available. So if you will, raise your hand if you need some information from Herschel. He's got information where you can register and or sponsor. Thank you.
So our upcoming election that started today, today was the first day of early voting. You're not going to see a lot of us out at the polls because it's just not a lot there. I'm not going to say that it's not important because there's 18, I believe, propositions that are on our ballot. 17? Okay, 17. I thought it was 18. 17 propositions on our ballot. A proposition doesn't mean the same thing as you and I think it is. If these proposals are passed, these become amendments to our state constitution. Now, to me, there's nothing bolder or stronger than our Constitution. My personal feelings, a lot of this stuff could be taken care of by our state legislatures voting properly and passing the things that we want passed instead of putting it into a constitution. So if you go to our Facebook page, you'll see how we, as the Tea Party, the vetting committee, what we endorsed as far as the answers to all of these proposals, the propositions. And you'll see where other entities throughout the state and people throughout the state have put their opinions on there as well. And then you get to make your own choice. When you look at the stuff and you look at the wording that these propositions have that came from the legislature, it's hard to figure out if you vote yes and want it, or if you vote no and want it. They do this to us all the time. The stuff that's going to be put in our Constitution should be easy for anybody to read and to understand. I put out my own personal opinions on these propositions, but deep inside of me, I want to say no to all of them. If you look at the organizations and the individuals that are putting their opinions on here, they're so mixed. And if these people that have been doing this stuff for years can't get it all together, how are they expecting us to get it together? And do we really want to pass all of these things to put in a constitution? That's a question for you. I'm not going to answer it for you, but that's something for you to think about. But it is the most important thing that is happening this election. So it'll take you some time to read it. All the information's up on our Facebook page. I know I'm missing something. Rumble, okay.
Thank you so much, Bob. You guys notice we're live streaming. We're on a new platform or a new page on Rumble as of this week. So if you will put Rumble on your phone, and then look up Montgomery County Tea Party and go follow us. That will help us a great deal in the algorithms. It's just clicking. It doesn't cost you nothing. There's nothing to pay to get on Rumble. It's an app on your phone. But every time you follow us or one of your friends follow us or you share any of our streams, it helps us in the long run. So if you could do that, thanks.
No candidates that we missed? Good. Well, I'd like to thank you all again for coming out tonight. Blessings getting home. We'll be back here again in the first Monday of next month. And God bless you. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. John Boucher's got a table out here with signs and literature. So if you put us down, and there's some signs from Adam Lamb also. If you want, and Gwen's got some. So if you want signs and literature from some of these people, the candidates, please meet with them and grab them. Thank you. Okay, we got one more announcement.
Just so you know, John Boucher's got an event on, what month are we in? October 30th. October 30th at Rudy's Barbecue on 105. That's at 6 p.m. So we would love to have HD16 folks come out there and support him. And you can just look at our website, boucherfortexas.com. Thank you.
Okay. That's it. We'll let them take care of that. We're done. Okay. You want to keep this little band? Yeah. Let me take that. Take the microphone and the little band. No, not that one. This. Oh, that microphone. Yeah. Oh, my foot. That's good. Exactly. So, where's the black band? Band. Oh, here. Yeah. Yeah, I'll get it here. Okay, Mr. Microphone, you get to keep these. When is next meeting? Monday, November 1st? Is that the first? I just realized I won't be here. Or I will be here. But I don't know that I can do it. No, wait. That's a Saturday. Oh, the second? The third. Oh, it's the third. The third, okay. That's a golf tournament. Okay. Not a golf tournament. Well, my issue is we're closing on that house that day. And how we're going to let Lana come handle it, and I can put this together if Lana can't. Yeah. Lana's going to take this one, okay, and I'll take this one. Okay. All right, Pete. Nice. You too. Piece of junk.
Hold it, keep holding, keep holding, keep holding, keep holding. I think I'm holding the wrong button. It must be.
What is there not maybe a scroll down to stop it? You know, to
Oh, here it is. Wrong button.
you don't have to.
Here, Lana.
Lana.
Yes, sir.
How do you turn it off?
Okay, I'm not sure.
How do you turn it on? Off.
You just do you already stopped the stream?
Yeah.
So I think it's just the button. I think it just puts it to sleep though. So I still haven't figured out how to get these gone because theoretically, like my iPad has a button and I can double press it and then I can throw things out.
Yeah.
I can't get it to do it. I don't know how to do that on this one.
What is that? What kind of pad?
It's an iPad also.
I gotta talk to Nicole.
You bet. Yeah.
I don't do iPads. Okay.
So like I ought to be able to just say close somewhere. There's no X. There's no nothing.
I can't. I mean, I don't have an iPad. I have.
No,
I'm a Droid girl.
Yeah, that one does something else. That one does something else.
Have you registered to run again?
I already did at the CDC the other night.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
Oh yeah. But you know, in
Because
theory,
I have my notary.
oh okay, good.
And I have paper. You might just want to stick a application.
Right. Yeah. I got to figure out how this works. I really don't get that. Oh, we need to follow our own feed.
That's why someone said, I think you need to take over the running of our website.
No, I can't. My husband's ready to divorce me right now.
Tell him that he and my husband should get in a chat together. And does your husband like scary movies?
Mark will know more about how to do this once we're done. I'm teaching Mark how to do this.
Okay. But I'm just saying, your husband, does he like scary movies? Monsters?
Not
Gore? Scary crap. My husband
But he
does.
loves all those men movies with the cars wrecks and all that stuff. Like Fast and Furious. He likes that stuff.
I've been on the Fast and Furious ride.
And anything with guns. He loves anything with guns.
I'm sorry, but no, my husband's
You too. His dad, Jax, and my husband are gun freaks.
Are they?
So, like, their favorite thing to do is to go down to, what's it called? Collector's Firearms. And shop for guns and look at all the cool antique guns.
I have a SIG 372. Yep. 3 something. It's a small one though.
Where were they sitting?
1, 2, and 3. Between one of these two right here.
Okay, it wasn't us. This was us. That was a different table. Maybe back here. I think it was back there because that's where Sam is sitting.
Okay.
He's at his table. That's why you're not seeing. That's probably his. He's late because he was doing other stuff. Yeah. So. I got a picture of it. Oh, I love it. Yes.
And Bob did a great job. Everything was
Yes.
great.
Yes. And you know what? We didn't mention it. That's going to hurt the worst. That's going to hurt the worst, right?
They're all fantastic. All cool, calm, collected.
Yes, just moving on.
Yeah, but I'm
bumping the
sharing
road.
everywhere. Great turnout.
Yeah.
I want to know what the biggest obstacle was. Bob wanted to sit over there. I told him he had to sit up here. And he said, that's where y'all sit. I said, well, I only sat there because the path says we needed to, but I'm tired of all the negative. And he said, but we got friends coming. I said, not a problem, we'll move. And he said, I got to sit over here. I said, yeah. He was good. Yeah. He got dressed for the occasion.
Oh, yeah.
He's taking it serious.
Well, Bob Harvey he cut his handlebar mustache off. You saw that? I know what we ought to do. We ought to get those mustaches. That one lady was wearing a mustache. We ought to block walk all the new neighborhoods in Audubon with those black mustaches on and Bob Harvey shirts on. That would be great, wouldn't it? At least we'd have a good time. And then it starts conversation. People are like, how come you have that mustache on? Well, let me tell you.
Adrian wants to run for every stinking position. He needs to start somewhere different. He needs to get out.
You need to run for dog catcher first.
Yeah.
That's how you start in Texas. Anyway, do you know anything about iPads? I don't know how to close this stuff over here. This one doesn't have a button. Okay, there's one lady over there that was wearing the black mustache. That's when we clock walk and all of it. That's a thing. We can make that a thing. Right?
Cool. Alex was wearing
You
it.
gotta have fun. And people would say, how come you have that on? You say, well, you haven't met Bob Harvey yet. That's his signature mustache. He's a new sheriff in town.
There you go. I like that one. He used to be way down.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I do too, yeah.
When are you going to Cuba?
Oh, we leave Thursday.
Okay.
And so everything's crazy until the end. Just there's so much else going on.
It seems like y'all made like a lot of progress here.
It's good that Craig's not going. I got a call tonight from the team that just left. They lost 2 translators to dengue fever. They got sick, and one of their travelers is sick right now from dengue because it's been raining so much. The mosquitoes didn't die. Normally they're dead by now, and it's mosquito borne. We're taking mosquito nets. We're taking extra deep. And we've got the little citronella things to burn. And I'm trying to get everybody to take ivermectin. Tina and I already are. It's the 2 men that don't want to take it. But I don't want them to get sick. Yeah, I'm going to tell Steve, you have to take it.
Well, as far as as far as the Montgomery County Tea Party, so got the emails out. I mean, it seems like is it more settled a little bit more?
It is better settled now. What's killing us now is getting the candidates stuff out, all these forms to the candidates. We sent 6 or 7, but I need to get a whole bunch more sent before I leave on Thursday because I'm gone for 10 days, and then I have to show Stacy and Mark how to handle it from there. Because I built the process with Stacy's help, but yet it's not documented and it's not replicable yet. I need to duplicate myself by Thursday before I leave. That's what's killing me. And we haven't even started fixing the back end of the website that displays it all to make it look like Postmark. But we can do it. We've seen the path. It's going to take programming time.
It might be good to get away.
Yeah.
I was going to meet my friend real quick.
Okay. Hi.
My friend Ann Perry.
Hi, Ann. It's great to meet you. I'm Lana.
Yes, nice to meet you. Yeah. We're real good friends.
Yeah.
Ann lives in my neighborhood. She ran for township
2 years
ago, and she's just a great friend. So, but I told her you were my good friend too.
Yeah. We're all competing for a little bit of Allison's time.
Oh, no.
Exactly.
Yeah. I know, Rhonda.
My husband's like, don't let Allison ask you to do nothing else.
And your husband is a lot like Fred. Like he gets upset when we're too busy.
And very introverted. Like, we're the extroverted sides of those relationships, and so our husbands are like, yeah.
Kind of like Fred. Yeah.
I think they're cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
They both love guns. They both love hunting.
The only thing I asked you to do was become a precinct chair.
I know. You tell them that all the time, so just remind him.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, same here. Great. Glad you're here tonight.
Good luck on your trip.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, pray for us. I don't want no mosquitoes.
I was holding it.
She's holding my leftovers out. Uh-oh. Just back in here. Yes, ma'am.